This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
Except I'm not able to block the crowds anymore. They're Secret Service doesn't let me.
Yeah, why not?
Well, because if they shoot Indians, no one gets to go out.
This is a story that stunned me. All right, New York Post, crime and again. Migrants flooding New York's justice system, making up 75% of arrests in Midtown as pathetic sanctuary city laws handcuff cops. Midtown Manhattan is Times Square, Paul. You're well familiar with it. 75% of the crimes are migrant crimes. In Queens, it's lower. It's at 60%, but still, that's a stunning number.
And what's amazing about that is that's what's reported. All right, let's go to shoplifting, for instance. There's heavy pressure not even to report shoplifting because it raises insurance rates. It means that the security guards end up getting fired if they interdict too many incidents because the insurance companies don't want it. If you get a serious incident, the police have to shut the place down, do prints and everything else. All kinds of damage. So a lot of stuff just doesn't get reported. Additionally, among migrants, what doesn't get reported is the crimes they commit amongst themselves. Yeah. And what people don't understand is, let's take Tren de Aragua, which is the most salient aspect of criminal gangs. Venezuelan gang, Maduro wants them out, big prison break, they're all here, he's not taking them back. They are a prison gang. They know how to do this stuff. It's in their DNA. They know how to control the migrant centers. Mm-hmm. So in these migrant centers, Randall's Island, the various ones we have around town, Randall's Island has a crime rate that is completely off the hook and completely unreported because it's internal. And who do they victimize? There's a prison gang. They know how to do this. They know how to control that territory. And who do they victimize? Women. Where are the women's groups on this? Not only the migrant women, but look at the panoply of crimes that we see that hit the headlines relative to migrants nationwide.
That's right.
As the Colorado governor tells us, you know what, you're exaggerating. It's women.
Well, it's a big story, and you're about the only person who's reporting on it.
He's not the only one reporting on it. Nope. I'm here. I'm going to bring this to you guys. I'm going to do as much as I can to show you what's actually going on. This might be one of those streams where all of a sudden I just disappear because who knows, they may say, hey, Barry, you're touching that third rail. And I'm talking about stuff that they don't want us talking about. So I've been watching this Aurora thing since I was in North Carolina. And I talked about it a little bit then, and then right after I said something, Trump came on one of the speeches he made, and he mentioned Aurora, Colorado. And he started talking about it. And the more he talked about it, the more I dug into it. And I just wondered, are people actually seeing what's really going on in Aurora, Colorado? And then lo and behold, it started happening elsewhere. It started bubbling up in New York City. It started bubbling up in Chicago. And then I realized this thing is starting to turn into a wildfire. And like I said in the title, no one's coming to save you. Easily, I mean easily, the National Guard in Colorado could go in there and stop what they're doing in Aurora, but they're not. They're not going in there. Where's that noise coming from? I've got a sound playing that I don't know where it is. It's probably one of the other videos. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. But in any event, stuff is happening across the country, and nobody's looking to stop it. Not a single person is stepping in and saying, this needs to stop. In addition to all of that, they're not even, at this point, wanting to acknowledge that it's even happening. They don't want anybody talking about this. And I know it sounds vague, and I'm going to be as delicate as I possibly can to discuss what exactly is happening. But in these areas, we've got, and bear with me with the terminology because the people upstairs really don't want us talking about this. We've got newcomers who were formerly in prison, gang members, in Venezuela, who have decided, hey, we've got a huge, huge opportunity here in America. We're going to take the best of what America is offering us. And, you know, we as gang members, with our tattoos and everything, we're just going to do what we did there. Oh, and we can just get armed and nobody's going to come? I know it sounds nonsensical. You're probably saying, Barry, it can't possibly be happening. But it is. And our government right now is afraid, and you use the word afraid, to go in and do anything about this because we're in an election year and it might harm Kamala Harris. I'm going to show you some stuff today that, if you haven't been following along, is absolutely going to curl your hair and should motivate you not just to vote, but get prepared wherever you live. No one, and I do mean no one, is safe from this stuff. Barry, how can you say no one is safe? Because you don't even know where these people are. If 10, 20 million people came across the border, we don't even know where they've been flown to. We don't know where they're residing. We don't know if there's sleeper cells sitting around. We have no idea. Our government hasn't told us anything. Forget the 350,000 kids. We're talking about the adults who want to do harm to Americans. So yes, do not turn away and say, well, it couldn't happen here. No, the result might be different. You know, those of us who live in certain states where, you know, we can shoot back, it might be different. But in those states where you're not allowed to, where your only option is to get on the phone and call for help, what do you do when help doesn't come? What do you do when all of a sudden you dial 911? Good luck. Listen to this. This happened not in Aurora. This happened in Chicago. And when it happened, well, I'm going to just let you listen. You can listen in on this.
Unit 10-3, I'm citywide. Person with a gun, 6124 South King Drive. Caller says 32 Venezuelans are trespassing the building, showing guns in the courtyard, and they have motorcycles in the courtyard as well. All stairwells are filled. Nothing further, zone clear. Hey, I'm sorry, you headed over to the ShotSpotter or to the 6124 on King for the migrants?
On King Drive.
All right, 10-4. There's another available unit, arrive at 310. We had multiple calls. First with the gun, 6124 South King. Also came over to disturbance, large gathering. Could be 32 Venezuelans trespassing in the building property, showing guns in the courtyard. They have motorcycles in the courtway, all stairwells filled. And nothing further.
That's an actual 911 call that was downloaded, where people are saying, hey, there's a whole bunch of people out here. It's like 30 of them sitting out here with, you know, arms and everything. Can you get some people over here? You're not even supposed to know about this. You're supposed to just go along with it and pretend it never happened. In fact, many in the media are saying that these days. Many in the media are saying, you know, you saw that piece from Fox News, but many in the media just like, it's not true. It's not at all happening. And I've got some information for you where you can actually hear them lying to people. This is from the mayor's office in Aurora, Colorado. And this is, the first piece is from a man who actually went to the press conference. Listen to this.
All right, so after attending this press conference here on Colfax, I can see that according to our city and our leaders here in Denver, the problem is not the Venezuelan street gang, Tren de Aragua. The problem is those of us who are talking about it.
Imagine that. They're not the problem, not this armed Venezuelan gang. No, you don't get it. It's you people for talking about it. Deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. I'm sorry. Those are our friends, these newcomers. But they're wreaking havoc. They're doing crazy stuff. I'm sorry. Don't talk about it. Shut up and deal with it. They actually said it. Listen to the mayor.
We are the ones creating problems.
Because it plays into a lot of the national headlines that we're seeing. When you hear, you know, gang has taken over an apartment complex.
All right, so the guy on the right is the interviewer. The guy on the left is one from the city, and then they're going to cut to the actual mayor. You ain't going to believe this.
That can mean different things to different people, right? There's taken over in terms of Aurora police can't go there. And then there's taken over in terms of they're shaking residents down for money and scaring people and that kind of thing.
Does that matter to you? I don't care if it's a no-go zone, or if they're shaking me down for money. To me, it's all the same. They've taken over. You know, there's two kinds of taking over. There's a kind of takeover, where, these people might just be taken over and the police don't want to go there. And then there's the other kind of takeover where they're shaking you down for money. I live here. This is where my children live. And you're telling me there's different types of takedowns or takeovers? And you're not doing anything about either one? Really?
If I hear you correctly, please correct me if I'm wrong, you're saying it's not a takeover in the sense that it's a no-go zone for APD, but that they are exerting control over the residents in a way that is unacceptable or illegal. Correct, yeah. That's fair to say.
That's fair to say. Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Okay. Any apartment?
All right, so the guy in the blue shirt just sitting there casually, that's the actual mayor of Aurora. And he's sitting right next to a guy who goes, that's absolutely what's happening. Listen to what the mayor says.
Complexes in Denver where you believe that's happening?
We do not have that.
Okay.
We do not have that. Just lied. Just lied to the people on the news. The guy that they elected, who they put in office, just looked in a camera, talking to the interviewer and go, no, it's not happening. Meanwhile, all over X, people are saying, hey, man, we got police calls. This stuff is happening. They're throwing our furniture out of windows. And they're not even investigating it. They're getting 911 calls and like, nope, can't go there. It is so bad that I probably have, I'd say 20 or 30 clips I could show you, but that I can't show you because of what's going on up there. Literally, I can't even show you the stuff that we've been seeing because what may happen. They don't want us talking about it whatsoever. Do not bring it up. This is supposed to be America. This is supposed to be a place where people are number one, have a First Amendment right, and number two, have the ability to tell you when something's happening. So I've got this councilwoman. This isn't just somebody. This is a councilwoman who decided she was going to post a video and let people know, hey, it is happening. This isn't just somebody off the street. Not some yahoo like it matters. This is an elected councilwoman who's ringing a bell and saying something needs to happen.
Seen at several of these complexes now, they've spray painted Venezuela all over the buildings. There are broken windows. There's trash everywhere. It's really a grim scene at these apartment complexes. And, what you see at any given time is men, and I've really only seen men, walking around with guns. They are actively patrolling these properties. They have completely taken them over. They have beaten up any staff that was on site of these complexes. They have beaten them up. So there is no staff. It is absolutely these gang members controlling these apartment complexes. And, yesterday I made sure to go in with several police officers helping and watching. But I'll tell you what, before I even had this family completely moved out of their apartment, these folks were already fighting over this apartment complex, and they were starting to move stuff in before we had even completely moved this family out.
It's real. It's 100% real. The press, CNN, MSNBC, ABC News, CBS, nobody wants you to know what's happening in these cities. Why don't they want you to know? Why don't they want people to be able to be safe in their homes? They've imported millions of these people. And of course, there's obviously some people who may need help, who are good people, but the fact that we don't even know the good from the bad at this point until they show up at your front door and decide they're going to take what you have. And hopefully it's only material things. Hopefully they're not looking to take your life or your womanhood. These people are running roughshod across America, and nobody is doing anything about it, and they don't even want us talking about it. I'm not making it up. There's no reason why I should meet any fate of censorship. I'm just telling you guys what you probably haven't heard. And it's amazing to me that we are in America, and Americans are ringing the bell and saying, we need help. This is happening. What the hell do we do? How are we going to be safe? And nobody's showing up. That woman who's a councilwoman, she told you. I watched the video, and she's like, I went there with a few police officers. We saw what was coming, and we got the hell out. Where's the rest of the cops? Where's the deputies? Where's the sheriffs? Where's the marshals? Where's the Homeland Security? Where's the National Guard? Nope, not going to do anything about it. If they're not doing anything about it in Aurora, and they're not doing anything about it in Chicago, and barely doing anything about it in New York City, what makes you think that you're going to do anything about it where you live? Do not for an instant think that this couldn't happen in your backyard. Again, I'm not talking about the result if they do it. I'm just saying, don't think it couldn't happen in your backyard. No one is coming to protect Americans, except the Avengers. Elon Musk, J.D. Vance, Tulsi Gabbard, a bunch of other people, RFK Jr., and of course, Donald Trump. Yet another reason why they fear him, and why they fear the alliance between Trump and RFK Jr. and J.D. Vance and Tulsi Gabbard and Elon Musk, because these are men and a woman who ain't going to take this. I'm appalled that our government currently would take this because of an election. I don't think Joe Biden was supposed to say what he said when they asked him. And I'm not really sure if they were telling him that because he's gone upstairs. But for him to walk out to a gaggle of reporters and look at these reporters and say, oh, they told me I can't go anywhere. Why can't you go anywhere? It's not safe. Let me get in the White House real quick. If it's not safe for the President of the United States to be out, the man who's arguably the most protected man in the world, dude, it's not safe out there right now. What the hell does that mean for you and me? Now, they may have been just giving him a story because they got to keep him in a padded room. That could be true. But the fact of the matter is, the President of the United States came out and said to the reporters, I can't go anywhere. It's not safe. If that didn't make the hair in the back of your neck stand up, nothing will. People are crying for help. People are saying, I can't do this. These people are just taking over everything that I own. There's another video, which I can't show you. You can find it. These people are acting like they're from utility companies. DoorDash. Uber. Knocking on the door in a uniform. You open the door, boom, they walk in and take what you got. These are trained. These are experienced bad people. Use another euphemism. And they're taking advantage of Americans who are used to, the Amazon guy knocking on your front door. We can't be safe. Can't be safe. So let me go through and show you even further this book, this absolute book that the Aurora Police Department put out. You're going to be stunned. Update. The city and the Aurora Police Department, as previously stated, established a special task force in collaboration with other local, state, and federal partners to specifically address concerns about Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua and other criminal activity affecting newcomer communities. We are grateful that the DEA, a valuable partner, has acknowledged its ongoing... can you get to the meat? What are you going to do about it? You know, the thank you. And there we go. We are aware that components of TDA are operating in Aurora. Aurora Police Department has been increasingly collecting evidence to show the gang is connected to crimes in the area. However, as we have previously said, and as the DEA similarly stated, it would be improper at this time for the city or the police department to make any conclusory statements about specific incidents or provide details about law enforcement strategy and operations. So what you're saying there is even the police can't talk about it. Hey, we've gathered some evidence. We're doing what we can. How about a 911 call? Is that enough evidence for you? How about the actual visual from a council person who went out there with, you know, your police officers and said, we got a problem over here, but you don't want to make any conclusory statements because it might upset somebody. Based on our initial investigative work, we believe reports of TDA influence in Aurora are isolated. I don't care if it's one. we believe they're isolated. Nobody said it was widespread. They said 2 complexes. 2. That's it right now. What about the people who live in those apartment complexes? Do you think they feel, hey, no big deal? It's just isolated. We urge all community members, including members of our newcomer communities, to please report crimes committed against them to the law enforcement agencies and do not remain silent victims. Your victims can report crimes anonymously by calling the Metro Denver Crime Stoppers. As always, information could change as the investigations continue at the local, state, and federal levels. If you lived in Aurora, would that make you feel good? I'm serious. Hey, we're on it. We're on the case. You're going to come out here and roll out the National Guard and fix things? No. We'll let you know we see something. By the way, though, if you see something, give us a call. We're not going to do anything because we're still collecting evidence. Even though you could drive out and see the guys walking patrol with guns. But we understand. It's a fluid situation. It got more fluid. Update. We have received specific questions from the public about John Hardy, Jose Pacheco Charino, also known as Cookie. We previously announced his arrest in connection to a July 28th incident, which you can see there. I can't say the word. We are able to confirm that Cookie, where is that? Let me go back there. We are able to confirm. I lost my spot here. Okay, whatever it was. Oh, we previously announced it, right? We are able to confirm that Cookie pictured here is a documented member of TDA. At least he's got some documentation. The department is not aware of his status within the gang. He is currently in the custody of ICE. Oh, I feel so much better. On July 28th at about 4:30 a.m., APD officers responded to a report of shots fired outside of that address. When they arrived, they found 2 males suffering from wounds. A third adult male was found with a broken ankle. This guy has been in custody since his second arrest on July 28th. In the coming days, we'll provide you some more comprehensive public update with additional information about this criminal group and its affiliates operating in Aurora, Colorado. We continue to proactively and fully investigate more activity and its possible connection to criminal organizations and their members and blah, 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 blah. They're not doing anything. I don't know why. I really don't know why these people are choosing just to ignore it. And of course, the people have begun responding. So it took the public posting of videos and then national coverage before you did anything. Did the governor hold you back? Hey, Aurora, heard 40-ish shots fired at Colfax and Ironton, those streets, around 8:45. What's the status of this? Going from bad to worse, we have to take this much more seriously. This isn't rocket science. Please quit pretending like it is and that you don't know who's who and what's what and that you are trying to keep the citizens safe. What BS? And over and over and over. It's a nightmare scenario, and it could be a nightmare scenario for you as well. All I can say by bringing this into the open is you better be prepared. Let me show you this. Okay, so in terms of New York, NYPD gang data reveals the most dangerous TDA, they're in New York as well, are terrorizing New York City. A terrifying wave of violence is sweeping across the city, blah, 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 blah. This is all the different things that they've been doing in New York City, most of which I cannot say because of what I told you. These 15 identified members are just the tip of the iceberg. Some have been arrested, but others remain on the loose, evading capture. These criminals have formed sophisticated crews, scooter robbery gangs, on and on and on. America is in trouble. America is at war. They brought the war to our shores. They brought the war to our cities, and they're allowing these people to wreak havoc in these cities and then basically not doing anything to protect the residents. It's inconceivable, whatever the word is. I cannot even fathom that people are being put in these situations. Why? Why is it at this point that we have decided that just protecting the number one job of any government, whether it's presidential, local, is to protect its residents? And these guys are doing whatever they want, whenever they want, to whoever they want, and nobody's doing anything. And our media, for the most part, not even talking about it. Let me take some comments. Biden and Harris should get the chair. Yeah, this is getting crazy. Yeah, you got to wonder if Soros is involved, giving them money. I don't think he's giving them money. They don't need it. They're taking it. I'm going to show you some more things that I can't actually show you the full videos, because if I showed you the full videos, I know they'd cut this thing off. But you're going to see some of the stuff that they're doing. Really, Rand says, Barry, I can't help but to think these people are being installed around certain cities to make sure the elections turn a certain way. It could be. Can you imagine people walking to the polls in November, driving their cars up, and out of the bushes somebody jumps out? No, it's going to take one or two of them. And then people are like, hey, it's too dangerous to get out there. I can't do it. Soldier up, peeps, because we're on our own. Say it all the time, and you guys have probably heard it in the military. Stay frosty and watch your six, because nobody else is. If Ashley is in here, she knows. I told her a story, and I took the granddaughters to lunch, and I watched my beautiful granddaughter walk to the bathroom, and my wife and I felt like we were in the military. I'm like, you got eyes on her? You got eyes on her? I got eyes on her. Okay, now I can't see her. It's around the corner. You better go check out and make sure there's no back door. Don't want anybody coming into a back door and snatching the granddaughter, because I'd have to just go to jail, because I'm going to end up ripping somebody's head off. But we sat there. We both had to stop eating. Just looking down the hall. Looked at my wife. She's like, I'm going to head in, make sure everything's okay. All right, 10-4. 10-4. Go ahead. I got your back. Be completely vigilant at all times. Watch your surroundings. Understand what's going on. It's insane that they're letting this stuff take place. Do they really? Do they really? Oh my God, Australia, that's not good. Somebody must have said something. Lori Adams says, we fled Denver over a year ago after witnessing human you-know-what. Drug sales and gangs living in apartments under us. They attempted breaking in and broke our door right there. Lori just said it. She just spoke to what actually is going on. People are like, I'm out. I'm done. I can't live here anymore. There's been a revolving theme on X where people say, get out of cities. And some people are like, I can't. I live here. My job's here. I feel for you. If you can, get out. If you can't, get frosty. Because this is insane. Yeah, don't sit with your back to the front door and check out the nearest exits. Absolutely. MAGA Proud Boys and the Hells Angels. I'm conspiratant-minded, so yes. No, the entire conspiratorial aspect of things has been taken off. It's actually happening. Conspiracies is when we say, hey, you know what, this may have happened or that may have happened. I think it's because... No, we can actually see it. This is actually happening. There's no conspiracy. The only conspiracy that remains is, why aren't they protecting people? What's going on? We can have some thought and discussion about why they're letting this happen. But there's no conspiracy in regards to it actually happening. Get a German Shepherd. You know what? Even my little 15-pound Chihuahua is good. If somebody walks around on the property, he's going to let us know. He ain't going to be able to do much, but he'll definitely let us know. But as long as he lets us know, I got some things to take care of the rest. But I'm just one person. I mean, if 5 or 6 guys show up and want to do something, I'm going to do my best. But you guys better get your families taken care of. There's more people watching this than the White House press briefing, because the White House press briefing won't tell the truth. They won't even bring this stuff up. Thankful to live in a red state. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Blue Colorado, that can fail. Yeah. One of the things I like to tell people is no refunds. You voted for this overwhelmingly. You're going to vote for it again. We already know Colorado is going to vote for Kamala Harris. The zombies don't care. Anybody but Trump. We're definitely going to just go ahead and vote for this. And so, no refunds. You get what you voted for. I don't have time for people who vote against their own self-interest and then complain about it afterwards. It's on you. It's on your head. If you bail to my town, learn to vote red or stay where you are. You caused this. Absolutely. Let's see here. Spirited mind is no trust in anything and no believing. There you go. We know why. Yeah, we absolutely do know why. Somebody asked me, this one here. How many times we're going to have to hear about this kind of stuff? Kathy Hochul's chief of staff, or former chief of staff, to make sure we're saying it correctly, she gets arrested, and there's rumors that she's a Chinese spy. You know, she's a young woman, and she's living in a $3.5 million mansion, and Kathy Hochul knows what she's paying her. Well, hey, how the hell are you affording a $3.5 million mansion? How is Kathy Hochul, just like with Kamala, how are you a good executive, and you don't even know that the person you hired might be linked to China? Are you even paying attention, or are you compromised as well? That's for another video there. Okay. Yes, not everybody in Colorado votes Democrat. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It gets crazy. So let me continue because I don't want to keep you guys here all afternoon, but I'm going to show you this stuff because it's absolutely nuts. Again, this is from the New York Post. Brutal Venezuelan gang violence spills into quiet suburb from the sanctuary city next door, despite efforts to keep them out. And I can't click on this stuff because, as I'm saying, but you can look this up yourself. You can go to New York Post and just search that title. In fact, I'll show you the actual article, and you can read it yourself what is actually happening. There's the Kathy Hochul warning about her staff member, but it's right there. It's right there for everybody to see if the ads would go away. Brutal Venezuelan gang violence spills into quiet suburb from the sanctuary city next door, despite efforts to keep migrants out. Now understand, as you're reading that, the city next door wasn't a sanctuary city. The other city was a sanctuary city. Did they think that these people would show up after they've gotten bussed to whatever city you decided to fly them into or bust them to, that they're only going to stay here? Do me a favor, we're the sanctuary city. You can't go over there. And you can't go over there. You got it? Okay. But there's some really nice houses, and these people look like they got money over there. Shh, you're here. You don't get to go over there. Those are the good people. You got to stay in the hotel here. Yeah, you think that wasn't going to happen? Did you think that these people wouldn't look over and see the Mercedes and everything else and say, yeah, I want some of that. I'm tired of eating biscuits here in this hotel. I want to go get some steak. And they let it happen. let's see what else we got here. From George from Behizi. Breaking. The same Venezuelan newcomer who was released by a Chicago judge after being caught with a stolen you-know-what was busted 1,000 miles away in Denver committing a violent jewelry store robbery, stealing $2 million in items. They're mobile. They're going everywhere. They're armed. And they're taking what they want. They don't care. This guy took $2 million. And, he's an active member of that TDA again. In May of this year, he was caught trying to stash... let me stop the video there because it shows some crazy stuff going on in the video. But you can find this. Go to George's page, and you can see the video of what they did. Just walked in like it was nobody's business. Hey, we're here to take all your stuff. Why? Because we know you got it. We're not even supposed to talk about this. If you look for this video later and it's not there, that's going to give you even further confirmation. Barry did a no-no. He talked about this stuff. He let people know what was actually going on. And we can't have that because if people know what's going on, they're going to, vote accordingly in November. That's the whole idea behind it. This one, I posted it on my X profile this morning. It's amazing. I can't show it to you because the guy's got potty mouth. But it's an American gang member saying we're going to do what we need to do against these Venezuelans. And they're talking about the stuff that they got in their pockets and what they're going to do. And they talk about taking their country back. He says that throughout the video. He's got a megaphone and going, we're here to take our country back. And I went, I never thought that'd be a Trump voter. I never thought a tattooed gang member would be a Trump voter. But he's a Trump guy. Well, I'm here. He actually says it. We're here to take my country back. Hey, Holmes, you got to go see the video. I can't play it, but go look at this video. You can just go on my profile. It's on there as well. Hey, Holmes, no, man, it's not going to be like that here. And I'm like, oh, so this dude is basically going to let people know they're not standing for it anymore. And him and his homies showed up in the pickup truck and what they were going to do. It says American gangs are built different. These gangsters want to chase out Venezuelan gangs from Colorado because the government won't step in. Complete failure of governance. Imagine that. You got some of the hardest guys in America going, no, man, you can't do that here. This is our shit. Excuse my language. And they're going after him because the cops won't come. And I thought to myself, Rob was like, you know what? If Trump gets put in jail, he may come out with a teardrop tattoo because the boys in cell block 6 got his back. I had a whole different outlook on things after I saw what this guy was doing, driving around with a megaphone, letting these people know we here now. We're not going for this anymore. It ain't gonna happen here. So y'all can just step. Basically, is what he said. This was the woman I played the video for earlier, the Aurora, Colorado councilwoman. She was the first one who leaked the video of the heavily armed gang members storming an apartment. Says several apartment buildings in the Denver area have been completely taken over. And this guy writes, how can this be happening in America? And that's her. You saw that. This, I can't play it because it shows them running up the stairs doing what they planned on doing. Flippin' sane. And here's Kyle Becker. I think Kyle Becker is, which news is he with? Top 5 news political website. Anyway, Colorado officials blame the media for alarming citizens about the danger. They're blaming people for talking about it. Instead of doing something, they're basically saying it's your fault for telling people what's going on. According to our city and our leaders here in Denver, the problem is not the gang trend at Aragua. The problem is those of us who are talking about it. We are the ones creating problems. Oh, I'm sorry, we stumbled upon your plan, and we're letting people know. Because like somebody said earlier about the White House briefing, Karine Jean-Pierre, she's not going to talk about it. Nobody wants you knowing what's happening in some of these cities. You need to know in advance so you can protect yourself and your family Because it's coming. We don't know where these people are. Millions? They've let millions across the border? We have no idea. There is no, and I just want to stress that as much as possible. Do not sit idly by and think this is Colorado, for me, way out west. Or that's New York, way up north. Or Chicago, way in the middle of the country. No, that's just where it's beginning to bubble up. You, nor I, have any idea, no idea, where these people are in America. We don't know if they're waiting for certain triggers to do what they need to do. But when you have millions of people who came across unvetted across the southern border because the border czar wasn't doing her job, that Kamala Harris completely ignored it on purpose with full malice of intent, there's no way you could have let these people just storm across. And now we have no idea where they are. We have no idea what kind of weaponry they have. And there's no way for us to know if the police will ever come if something happens. And by the way, it doesn't really matter if they come. By the time that the police come, and these guys will already know what the response time is. By the time they come, it's too late. Some of these guys are so ruthless, they may not want to leave a witness. Hey, listen, they've seen us, pop them, or whatever. Trump has talked to you about that. He has said it over and over again. This is, let me finish here. This is wild. A Colorado resident just said that she attended a press conference where the local officials played down the threat and instead blamed the citizens for being concerned. Aurora Mayor Mike Kaufman and Denver Mayor Mike Johnson have played down concerns over the newcomers in Colorado. There's been a lot of misleading information shared about what is happening in our city. Aurora is a safe community. The media have conflated and considerably exaggerated incidents that are isolated to a handful of problem properties. I want you to understand what you just read there. Are isolated to a handful of problem properties. Does it matter? I'm not sure anybody has reported that Aurora has been taken over. No, they haven't said that. The actual reports have been that these guys have taken over apartment complexes. So you're confirming what the reports are. You just want everybody to think, oh, it's just a couple. What are you guys getting all freaked out about? You're exaggerating it. Well, why don't you talk about what's happening at these couple of apartment complexes? How about we just get to talk to, I don't know, maybe a couple of the residents. Hey, what happened? How about we talk to the property managers who got beat up and kicked out? Why are you not allowing them to talk? And you put on this thing, no big deal, it's not that bad. Not that bad. Exaggerated. I'm pretty sure if somebody was kicking in your apartment door, it's real bad. It's not exaggerated. I'm sitting here watching TV. I got American Idol on. I'm watching people sing, and some yahoo kicks in my front door. That's really effing bad. I'm not exaggerating that. And the result would be just as bad. But it's just isolated, man. Chill. Here's some, pre-approved weed, and you'll be all right. No, I'm not going to be all right. I'm not going to be all right. You are not going to be all right. I don't care if it's isolated. If there's 30, 50, 60 apartments in this complex, there's 30, 50, 60 times 3 or 4 people who live in these apartments, maybe 200 people, 200 residents who look to you for protection, and you're telling them it's exaggerated. What has happened to this country? I can't even fathom. This is from the Libs of TikTok. I received this from a follower in Aurora, Colorado. His truck was shot up in the middle of the night in a random drive-by attack. This occurred just a few miles from the apartment complex that was taken over. The crime in the city has skyrocketed. All right, so this guy got his nice big truck there full of bullet holes, but it's just isolated. No, they've already conquered this. Now, you thought you'd make a deal. Hey, guys, I understand you took over this apartment complex. Do us a favor. Don't look to do this anymore. Okay. And now they're driving down the street, spraying houses. But it's exaggerated. It's not that bad. You guys need to stop talking about this. Absolutely crazy. Then, I told you they moved north. It's like, hey, it worked here in Colorado, so let's go ahead to the Midwest. And now they showed up in Chicago. The same TDR or TRD, whatever they're called. Chicago is one of the tightest gun control laws in the country, and certainly somehow the newcomers were able to obtain and are using those weapons to do what they want to do. So they took over an apartment complex there. And I can't even show it to you, but you can read. A group of 32 took over an apartment building in Chicago. Here's the audio of a 911 dispatch call. First, they did this in Aurora, and now Chicago. Which city will be next? Could be yours. Are you ready for it? No one's coming. Police can't handle this. There's no way these police in these cities can handle all of these newcomers who now have put weapons in their hands. They're too organized. Are you ready? Better get ready. Better get ready. And reason why I say that is when you see this might be where you look at this and go, oh man, we're done. We're done if Trump doesn't get in office. We are absolutely toast. The Mexican government will now be busing newcomers from Mexico's southern border to the U.S. southern border and will be providing a military escort with food along the way. All right, everybody get in the buses. Here's a hamburger. Let's go. We're going to storm the border, and it's okay. We're going to let you in. This is insane. Mexico is openly aiding and abetting an invasion of the United States. Cut off all the aid. No, why are we still giving them money? And there's just buses and buses of people coming to America. Buses. They're being escorted, given food. Get out. Get up. Go up in there. Do whatever you want. We're not going to stop you, and actually we're going to help you. Don't have to worry about the coyotes anymore. We're going to just put you on a bus with food and take you to the border. That's America today. And nobody wants to let you know. That's America. That's where we are, people. Why? Gina says why. They hate us. They absolutely hate us. They hate our way of life. They hate what we stand for. They hate that we've been able to prosper. They hate that we've been able to have freedom to move about. And it seems at this point that the powers that be, the puppet masters who are basically doing whatever they want with Joe and now with Kamala, have made up their minds, whatever we need to do, destroy this country. That's not conspiratorial. That's looking at this going, this doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Why you would just push these people into the country, no vetting, have no idea who they are, no birth certificates, no driver's license yet. There's no background checks. They don't have any computerized systems. We don't even have medical records on these people. We don't know if they're bringing any kind of diseases. We know nothing except for the fact that they're loading up buses and bringing them in and flying them in. And we're the ones who are supposed to shut up about it. Hey, listen, we need to take this video down because, oh my God, you shouldn't be talking about these people in this way. Okay, do me a favor. Tell me if I said anything wrong. I didn't call anybody any names. In fact, I said newcomers because I didn't even want to call them what I really want to call them. And I'm just talking to Americans and telling Americans, be careful. If that's wrong, then we've already lost. It doesn't even matter if Trump comes in. If we can't even speak to say, be careful, take care of your family, watch your kids, watch your wives, watch your property. If we're not allowed to say that to Americans, we're done. Stick a fork in us. We're toast. They are ramping up the newcomer in case Trump wins. They want as many foreign troops here as possible. Well, you know what to do. Airplanes flying in by Mexico over my roofs constantly. Barry, the American government works for the cartel. I know a person, and he said that they're busing prisoners from there. If you guys all know this, and you're seeing this right now, it is September. We have a couple months to go. Actually, more than a couple, because Trump wouldn't even take office until January 21st or whatever. So we're talking 4 months. Do you realize what kind of damage could be done to this country in the next 4 months? It is inconceivable. And if she wins, don't wait. I keep telling people, do not wait till November 6th to get ready. Start prepping food. Start getting weapons, ammo. Do everything you can. Move if you can. Get a different job. Do something. Again, I'm not calling anybody names. I'm just saying what we're seeing is mandating that you get ready. There's no other way to say it at this point. America, vote accordingly. I can't even show this video because it's so bad. I want you to look at this guy's handle, Wall Street Apes, and go look and watch this video. It's going to make your stomach churn. Police officers on camera, quote, "I've arrested this suspect," you can see the words, "in this city before. I let him walk out the door because we're a sanctuary city. We do not report newcomers." That's like what the guy said in the Fox video. We don't even know what crimes they've committed because many of these sanctuary cities are not even allowed to report what the newcomers are doing. So when Kamala and these idiots get up there and say crime is down, oh, it's down because people can't report it. It's like it never happened. Citizen says, so you're going to let a person who you know went to prison, he committed the crime in America, he's a newcomer right now, and you're going to let him go free right now? After just doing this to me, I had to call the police, you did show up, and you're telling me because he's a newcomer, you can't do anything? The quote, that's exactly what I'm saying, because we are a sanctuary city. I can kick in your front door. I can have my way with your wife or daughter. I can eat your food, steal your car, and they can't even arrest him. They can't even report what that person did. The cop said that to the woman. She's standing in the hallway talking to him. Again, you can see them. They're standing right there. This man did something to me. Do something. Please, do something. Sorry. Can't help you. We're a sanctuary city, and that's exactly what I'm saying. Because we are a sanctuary city, I have to let him go. Just go ahead. These newcomers are here at the invitation of our government, and they have carte blanche basically to do anything they want. Mayorkas, Merrick Garland, Kamala Harris, you've put us in a situation now where more than likely they're going to reach a point where certain people begin pushing back. And if it weren't for the fact that on the horizon we can see the Avengers coming, we just need to be able to get to that point. I'm sure if you showed this video to some of your friends and coworkers and family who are voting for Kamala, they won't believe it. You could put it right in their face and they won't believe it. That's where we are in this country at this point. But what's going to happen, and I think we are definitely going to see it, is that there's enough people at this point now who have, had enough. Absolutely had enough. Check this out.
News Network covers Lake County, where the sheriff says a man is under arrest for stabbing a teenager. Investigators say this picture is from when 26-year-old Dimas Gabriel Yanez was taken into custody. Deputies tell us he was in the process of cutting his hair to change his appearance when he was arrested. They say Yanez stabbed a 14-year-old girl who was watching her brother's baseball game in Lowell over the weekend. She has been treated and was released from the hospital. The sheriff says Yanez was deported to Honduras in 2018. Investigators believe he's been involved in criminal activity since illegally returning to the U.S.
To the folks in Aurora, Colorado, it's losing all their apartment complexes to the Venezuelan gangs, and they're getting their jewelry stores robbed, and people are getting jacked out on the streets and things like that. To the people in Aurora, Colorado, no one's coming to help you. You do understand that, right? The cops are not helping you. The feds are not going to help you. The government's not going to help you. The National Guard is not going to help you.
And everything he's saying is true because we're seeing it. He's not being conspiratorial. He's actually telling you what's happening. Nobody's coming. You're on your own. We're not going to help you. In fact, we don't even want you talking about it. Shut up.
The U.S. Army, which is at Fort Carson right there in Colorado Springs, they're not going to help you. The biker gangs they got around there, things like that, they're not going to help you. The rival gangs that run around there in Aurora, yeah, they're not going to help you either. No one is coming to help you.
How terrifying is that? Every one of us thinks that we can pick up our phone and call 911 and everything will be fine. That's not the case anymore. We are in a position at this point where you better be prepared to take care of yourself until help comes, if it comes at all.
You need to learn to stand on your own 2 feet, or you're going to fall to your knees. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you something here, folks. If you don't stand up and protect your property when they kick your door in and they come in, they drag you out, thumping you up, and they come in and essay your wife and your daughters, or
SA stands for 2 words. One of them is assault, and the other one sounds like the word hex. The most unthinkable of crimes. I would rather succumb to injuries than watch that happen to my wife or my daughter or my grandkids. You best do what you can right now before it's too late to get ready.
You know, go put their boot down on your dog's skull or something like that, and just take everything you got and tell you to get out. You got that coming, buddy.
Unfortunately, he's right. I can't keep ringing the bell and letting you guys know, get ready. At some point, you have to say to yourself, this is a potential nightmare scenario. Take care of the downside. The upside takes care of itself. And what I mean by that is, if something doesn't happen, everything's fine. No newcomer comes to your front door and kicks it in, doesn't try to assault your wife or your kids. Consider yourself lucky. But be prepared in the eventuality that it does happen. The old saying, what's it, an ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure? Well, heed that advice at this point, because it's absolutely true.
You got that coming because you gave up your gun rights and your gun control bull crap. You voted liberal. Your city's going to crap. And you have done nothing about it. Mm-hmm. But let it happen.
And we've watched this occur. Those of you in cities like Aurora can probably look to some of the black communities around the country. They've been this way for decades. Chicago has been a shooting gallery. Every single holiday weekend, I haven't seen the numbers for Labor Day yet. Hey, well, we had 50 here and 25 over there. And We've been completely desensitized. Chicago has been this way for so long, we don't even pay attention anymore. But I bet you pay attention when it comes knocking on your door.
What the folks need to do now is just let it happen. Until someone stands up and says, I've had enough. That's enough. What's it going to take, folks? What's it going to take for you to stand for your property? What's it going to take for you to stand for your family's protection? What's it going to take for you to stand for your own protection? Well, it's looking to me like calling the cops just ain't working out for you anymore. So you're going to have to do something about it. If you're too coward to do something about it, get the hell out of there. Let people who ain't afraid of those come in there. It's going to be a little different story then. They might have the upper hand now. It won't last long, folks. But to those allowing themselves to be victimized, so what? You're a punk anyway. Violence ain't the best option, folks. But it is still an option.
We all have options at this point. And he's completely correct. We all have options. You better find yours. And like he said, at some point, people have to say enough is enough. Draw that line in the sand. Enough is enough. Luckily for us, there is somebody who is seeing that. And he's got Trump's ear. This was posted this morning. When he's talking about how they're flooding the New York City justice system, making up 75% of arrests in Midtown, a pathetic sanctuary city law handcuffs the cops. Make sure you can see that. 3 out of 4 people arrested in Midtown are newcomers. And Elon Musk, to his, how many people saw this? 7 million have seen this just today, since 10 o'clock. And he says, when is enough enough? Just like that man in the video. When is enough enough? My mother lives in New York, and her friends have been assaulted 3 times this year with no punishment for the attackers. You see why these people are terrified of Trump getting in office? You see why they're terrified of the Avengers coming together? Here's a man with everything in the world. I told you his story yesterday. It was heartbreaking, broke me to tears. This man can do anything he wants. Doesn't matter what the price tag is. And he has told Trump, I'm ready, bro. Let's do this. That's why they're terrified. You know, Trump is just a guy. He's one guy. But you got somebody like Elon Musk telling Trump, I'm all in. Let's do this. I'm going to see if I can find, here's another tweet he just put out. A Trump victory is essential to the defense of freedom of speech, secure borders, safe cities, and sensible spending. This guy is using his megaphone. Forget the Aurora mayor being upset. We got to do this. They're terrified of him. Absolutely terrified of him. Where's another one here we said for a while? I wanted to show you this one he said. When is enough enough? There was one he put out last night that just got me. And what he said by this is, and here's another one he put out. Migrants flood New York City justice system. In New York City, recently arrived newcomers are being arrested at a far higher rate than public officials have so far acknowledged. And he just responded with a couple of exclamation points. We're all seeing it, folks. We're all seeing it. Everybody is tired of it. And I'm just trying to find this one thing. Bear with me for a second. When he talks about, let's see if I can find it. Oh, here it is. There it is. Trump considers Elon for role in auditing U.S. agencies. Trump is reportedly eyeing a plan to involve prominent business executives, including Elon, in auditing federal agencies. I can't wait, he said. I can't wait. There's a lot of waste and needless regulation in government that needs to go. You got people in Washington freaking out. Trump is the biggest threat they've had to face, and a Trump who's angry, who wants to protect America, who people see, gang members in Aurora, like, we're taking our country back, yo. Hey, Holmes. Kamala Harris can't win. We just can't let them cheat. Because right now, everybody has had it. Had it. There are so many comments on Elon's post there saying the same thing. Enough is enough. You just need to get there as well. You need to get your family there. You need to get your coworkers and your everybody you know and get them understanding enough is enough because nobody else is coming. If Trump doesn't win, if they do something and don't allow him to take office, we're done. We're absolutely done. Democrats are the exact reason we have so much crime beyond any shadow of a doubt. Yeah. I don't know my country anymore. Yeah, you're right. Got to make it way too big to rig. Absolutely. You got it. Got my basic training from being married twice. Didn't go well for them. Yeah, I hear you. I definitely hear you. Swampland needs to be abolished. That's why they don't want him there. And only way this country gets fixed is we got to get rid of the bureaucrats, the people who've been there for decades, everyone who's basically just been a part of that swamp, got comfortable in there, and they know it. Tom says, what have we become? Yeah, great question. I can't answer it. Barry, I'm a 62-year-old redneck from Arkansas. Believe me, if they come walking down my street, they will be carried out in a box. And my neighbors feel the same way. It's a good point. In protecting yourself, you can't do it alone. There is no way that you are going to be able to basically take care of your well-being by yourself. You're going to have to do a coalition. You're going to have to go knock on your neighbor's door and say, hey, man, you ready? And if he's not ready or she, you need to let them understand what's happening. Show them this video. Do some research. Find out what's happening in Aurora and Chicago and New York and other towns across the country and go, this could be here, man. I know Jason Aldean made the song, Not in a Small Town, but it will happen in a small town if people aren't prepared. I know everybody in the small towns, most of the small towns I've gone through here in Florida and up in the hills in North Carolina, they're ready. There was one woman, I won't say her name, but she's got guns in different rooms of the house to make sure. I think J.D. Vance said that as well. His grandma from Ohio, I think she lived in Ohio, and they found like 19 in her house because she never wanted to be more than a step away in case something happened. Well, it's happening. Don't wait for it at this point. You know for a fact it's happening. Let's see here. Stop virtual signaling. It's annoying. Who's virtual signaling? I don't know. I hope you were talking to somebody else. The Avengers need us. They sure do. Add Culver City, California, somebody says. It won't be Trump's fault for our demise. It's all Americans' fault. Yeah. I was watching television this morning, and I was watching as Columbia is going back to school. And I'm watching the knuckleheads protest and scream and acting crazy about, Palestine, river to the sea, and all that crap. And what I saw was kind of funny, very weird, is that the police were just walking with them, protecting them. And they're letting off smoke bombs and doing all other kind of crazy stuff. And I'm like, are you guys not going to do something? Oh, probably we can't. Yeah, that's right. You probably can't do anything. I'm tired of our police and our government saying they can't do anything. Why is it that we've gotten to a point where people can't do anything? How did we let it happen that because they used our Constitution against us, which they hate, we're in a position now where we can't do anything. At some point, the government, local, state, federal has to do something before the people end up doing it themselves. I often think somebody mentioned in the chat one time, like, do they not remember, I don't know, 1776 and what happened? Are people oblivious to what happened in 1776? It got to a point where people said, I've had it. I've absolutely had enough. That is what would happen in America very quickly if more of this stuff keeps happening. And if they ramp it up before Trump can take office in January. But we got to get him there. We have to get Trump in office. We got to make sure everybody knows what these people are doing. Thankfully, you've got Elon Musk. I have to be careful with what I say here. But if you go to X and start searching Aurora, and you can start seeing the videos and hearing what people are saying. There are some people, like I said, I had 30 or so videos that I couldn't even play because of what the people are screaming at the camera. The F-bombs left and right. And it's affecting blacks, Hispanics, white people. You want to talk DEI? It's diverse. These newcomers are affecting a diverse group of people who are screaming on these videos. F-bomb after F-bomb. Excuse them. They are afraid. They are completely afraid because nobody's coming to help them. Take my word for it. Go on X, search Aurora gangs and Aurora this, and you'll just see all these people who live there, who are posting stuff going, what the F? Oh, this is effing... I mean, I would have had to use my censor beep too many times where it wouldn't have made any sense. But trust me, get an eyeball on those videos. Listen to what these people are saying. Nobody is coming to help them. They're pleading. And some of them are saying, you ain't going to like the result. If you think we're going to back down, there's some people saying right in the camera. One guy in Chicago said, you don't want to mess with us. You might want to come get your boys, because if they keep doing this, we're going to let go. Which is probably what they want. But that's probably what's going to happen. Enough is enough. We're done. You did everything you could to us. Now you're kicking in our front door. You're taking advantage of our women. Sorry. Bets off. Sounded good before. Now we got to fight back. So do what you need to do as well. And I urge you to go look up some of these videos and look at the pain in some of these people's faces and look at the anger in some of these people's faces. And tell me if you don't see. Send me an email. Tweet to me. X post to me. If you don't see that these people are like, you want some of this? You're about to get some. You're going to give you a night to remember. And I'm not doing Kamala. That's from Porky's. The big sheriff. I'm going to give you a night to remember. I love that movie. I'm dating myself. In any event, it's that time where I want to thank everybody who's donated to today's video. So let me, without further ado, talk to these people. Just another knucklehead, thank you very much. Do you have an alternate site on a different platform when they come after your channel? I'm going to start cross-posting on Twitter. I don't like Rumble as much because they need to do some things. Twitter/X rather. Elon's doing some really, really good things, and I think that may be a place to go. But yeah, you're right. They may come for me. Definitely if he loses the election. Frankie in Hawaii says Trump needs to take this on X and make it viral so everyone knows it's from Kamala's administration. Our American women need to be on alert. Could have said that any better. He touched on it in his last speech, but he needs to go deeper. He needs to go to Aurora, Colorado. Can you imagine that? I'm going to do a rally right outside this apartment building. They won't let him do it. They won't block the streets off for him. It'd be too dangerous. But man, if he could go out there and just I'm here. This ain't happening. I'm going to do whatever I can with Elon, with RFK Jr., with JD Vance, with Tulsi Gabbard, and everybody else. This isn't going to happen in America. Thank you, Dashin Lover, Mama Bear. Barry, are you on Rumble? Where can we watch the 30 clips you have? Just mentioned, go on X. 801, my brother from Hawaii, or ma'am. So sad. Thank you, Barry, for this important information. This helps us to know what to pray for. In fact, I think I'll be announcing, I'm going to talk to JJ. We may be doing our prayer night this Thursday, next one. Father God, please protect these people from death and other things we can't see. Vance Bridges, I just found out that Elon may be buying YouTube. I've heard that rumor, but I don't know. Couldn't imagine that number. Could not imagine how much he'd have to pay for YouTube. Just another knucklehead again. Thank you. Click the likes. Need to get the word out. Thank you very much. Christine Chong lives in a blue state, New York. Cannot afford to move to each state. What should we do? Good question. You live in a blue state, and whether it's your job or you're retired and you can't afford to move where it's safer, get that neighborhood coalition put together. Start talking to your neighbors and say, listen, they're not coming to help us. We're going to have to do this ourselves. We can't move. We're here. We've lived here for years. This is our neighborhood. Like David Ortiz said in Boston after the bombing happened at the marathon, this is our effing city. You got to get enough people together where you live, where people feel strong enough to say, this is our effing city, and it ain't happening here. That's what's going to take it if you can't move. Go Getters Transportation, thank you. Faith Taylor, Trump can only do so much. Down ballot must be read all the way to school boards. Vote early so no trouble. Absolutely correct. Just another knucklehead again. Thank you. Careful, watch your rhetoric. Careful of sympathizers. Yep. Got to be careful. Like I said, if you click back on this later and it's not here, you know why. Albino says, and we thought Mike Judge's movie Idiocracy was just a comedy. Yep. Carly Weeks, thank God I was in the military. Always frosty. Head on a swivel, watching your six. Better do that. Gina Duncan, Barry, could you do a show about specifics on how to prepare? I'm single in an apartment, moved to a new city with my dog. Yes, I shall do that. I may have to bring in the boss on that one because she did it all for our house. She did all the prep work. She can tell you where she got the stuff, and it's time for her to go on camera if I can drag her in here. Big Cat Mag is the best of the best. Demon of Cyberton? Yes. Texas AG Ken Paxton is suing Dallas because they want to make the state fair a G-free zone, and Texas is open carry. Wow. Democrats are incompetent. I don't think it's incompetence. I think this is planned demolition. I think they know exactly what they're doing. And this is their mind, how you get to the point where they can take down these evil Republicans, even if it costs their own constituents. Randy Baird, time to take back our country. We are the only ones that can do it. Unite people. Cindy, hey, thank you, Cindy. Black, Yellow, Flash. Uncle Barry, you're like the uncle I never had. From now on, you're officially Uncle Barrel to me. Thanks for all the awesome info and for helping me keep my family in the loop. I got my power tools ready for repair. I know what you mean when you say power tools. Get them nice and ready and get the drill bits that actually make a difference, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. Mr. Heath, thank you very much. A woman has come forward saying she was the victim. Okay, this was a story I'm waiting to validate. If we can validate this story, she's done. She's already done. I mean, she'll have to withdraw. Never mind go to the election. She'll have to just quit. Our Heath here, he says it. Let me see if I can scroll down to it. I may have to do some construction here so you guys can see this. Where is this story? Let me do this. All right, so our Heath says, a woman has come forward saying she was the victim of a hit and run by Kamala in 2011. Her mom was threatened and afraid, so she is now bringing it public since her mom recently passed. She can't walk because of it. Maybe research this? Yes, I have been researching this. And Charito Rivera, thank you very much. Now, this story that he's talking about is starting to bubble up. Of course, the media is going to ignore it, but there are going to be some citizen journalists who now start digging. The story basically is that, what year was it? 2011, Kamala got into an accident and did a hit and run. When she did this hit and run, she basically paralyzed a woman. They threatened her, decided they were going to do all kinds of things, maybe even paid her off. And at that point, the mom stayed silent. The mom who cut the deal just died. And the daughter who got hurt is now starting to talk. Of course, the media is not, hey, we can't talk about that. Yeah, but everybody else now is digging. So when you go to X and you start looking at Kamala hit and run, you can search that. Forget the big news sources. They're not going to talk about it. You're going to see people digging into arrest history. They're going to look at, whatever happened to 911 call. Laura Loomer would probably be all over it. You go follow something that Laura Loomer says, I guarantee you she's digging hard on this story. She's got sources in newsrooms across the country that people don't want to know that she knows. But her and some of these other guys out there, Kyle Becker, some of these news people who aren't afraid to dig into stuff, if we can validate it, I will certainly do a video about it. Let's see. Oh, I got some more here I got to talk about. Let me go here. Let's see here. Every day I'm struggling with love from the UK. God bless you, Barry. Thank you very much. Every day. Pennsylvania Zhao Li, Trump should promise debilitating cuts in aid to Mexico for a year for every day they send people to the border as soon as he's elected. I'm down with that. And thank you, Barry. Bless you. Yeah, Mexico at this point has decided, let's just flood the zone. Let's get as many people in here as possible. Let's just go ahead and destroy America. Let's help them destroy themselves because nobody's doing anything. All right, see you at 7 o'clock tonight for the main show. This one went an hour and a half as well. So, thanks for tuning in. Let your friends know. Stay frosty. Watch your six. Military terms. Look them up if you don't know what stay frosty means. Look it up if you don't know what watch your six means. Get ready. Be prepared. Food and otherwise. Get your power tools in order. That's what I'm going to have to start calling them. Get your power tools and your bits in order. You're going to need them. You're going to need a lot of bits as well. Talk to you at 7.